Yo, it's your boy Nez, the Lyft Uber YouTuber, and I'm coming at you with another episode of Rider Stories. This episode is going to be kind of a 2-in-1 because I had two instances that happened that were very similar in the way they happened. And it was nothing that happened specifically to me. It's something that happened to two separate passengers that I had. And I figured I'd share that with you. And tell me how, then maybe you could leave down in the comments how, if I handled it, if I gave them the right information or I gave them appropriate information. So, first one, a couple days ago, I get a ping on Uber, pick up a person who was like 3 minutes away from me. So, right after I accept it, the person calls me and she asks me, am I going to be able to come pick her up, and that she has to go into New York City. So I said, sure, I'll be there in a couple minutes. So I went to pick her up. And, she also said, if not, I can cancel it, now. And I was like, nope, I'm a couple minutes away. I'll come get you. That's fine. So I went and picked her up. As she gets in the car, she proceeds to tell me how I'm her fourth Uber that came. She had 3 people come before, and when they got to her, she told them that, because how it doesn't tell us where we're going. Even though there's a hack that's supposed to be able to show us how to do it, I just haven't done it myself, so I'm gonna figure that out. But anyway, she said she proceeded to tell them that, she's going into the city, and then all 3 drivers, 3 different drivers, 3 different times, they both did the same thing. They said, oh, well, no, I can't take you into the city. So, and then she was like, oh, so, and then the drivers proceed to ask her, like, oh, could you cancel the Lyft? So then she was, or the Uber, I should say. So then she canceled, all 3 times. And as she's telling me, I'm telling her, I'm like, so you had 3 different people come, and all 3 people couldn't take you, and they all canceled. I was like, but they didn't cancel themselves. They asked you to cancel. And she said, yeah. She's like, and that's the reason why I called you, because I didn't want you to get all the way to me just to, tell me that you can't, that you couldn't go to New York. I wanted you to know before you got here, just in case, because then I would just cancel over the phone. I would just cancel before you get here, so that way I don't get charged. And I was like, okay. Here's the thing with that. You did right the 4th time calling me. But in the future, if you change something because you're changing it, yes, you should cancel. Okay, by all means, you should cancel. But if your transport comes, if your Uber or Lyft, however it goes, if they show up and they decide they don't want to provide the service that they initially accepted, which is the reason why they showed up to pick you up, and they decided they don't want to do it after you give them more information, trying to be upfront with them, then they should be the one canceling. All right. They ask, and you're telling me they all asked you to cancel. And she said, yeah. I was like, the reason why they ask you to cancel is because if you cancel it after they show up, then they're going to get a cancellation fee of $5. All right. So basically they're making $5 off of you, and they didn't have to do any work. All right. Because you canceled. So the appropriate way that you should handle that is that if you get them all the way there, like right now I'm here, if I decided that I couldn't take your run to New York after, you're telling me up front before we go, then you should ask me to cancel it. Then you should immediately ask me, okay, well, if you can't take me, then you have to cancel it. And I would literally sit there and watch the driver cancel it to make sure that they're the ones who do it. Because if I cancel it, then that's on me. I'm canceling after I accepted it, so that's my fault. I'm not gonna get paid anything for that. I mean, they'll ask me why, but that's another thing you want to make sure. You want to make sure they don't say anything bad about you too, because they could also say, oh, the passenger was irate or whatever, or it didn't look right, something was wrong. So you want to make sure it's just a straight cancel, so that way you don't get charged. So basically, you paid $15 out before you even got into anyone's car, because you canceled on 3 different people. And I'm sorry that it happened to you. I would call up Uber and dispute them Maybe they'll give you your money back. I'm not exactly sure what they'll do, but they're pretty good with responding back to it. That's what I told her. Okay. Like I said, let me know if you would have handled that differently down in the comments below. Next person I pick up this morning. Like I said, similar situation. I get the ping on Uber to drive to go pick up someone, and it's like 20 minutes away. But it did say that there was a driver incentive that popped up on the screen, which I had never seen that, and I thought that was cool. So there obviously must something been going on that they are offering me more money to do it, differently than how they normally would do it. So I start driving, and like a minute after I accepted, the person calls me. It's a nice lady. She calls me and she asks me, she's like, hey, I'm at the Joyce Kilmer rest stop on the New Jersey Turnpike. I just wanted to make sure you're coming. And I was like, yeah, I'm coming. I'll be there in it says I'm 20 minutes away, but I'll be there. I just got on the Turnpike now. And I was like, I was wondering why it was asking me to get on the Turnpike. Because normally it won't ask me to get on the Turnpike until after I pick up the fare. But seeing how she was at a rest stop on the Turnpike, there was no choice. Okay. So I got there to pick her up. And she was like so grateful, very happy. Oh, thank you. And she was like, and she asked me what made me go pick her up. And I was like, well, I looked at the situation, and I thought to myself, it's pretty unusual to have to pick someone up at a rest stop on a turnpike. Because I'm thinking, how did they get there? So I figured myself there had to be something, interesting about it happening. So part of me, I did it because it was the next fare. And the other part of me, I was kind of nosy, and I was kind of hoping you would tell me what happened. And she's like, well, I have no problem with telling you. And she proceeds to tell me, and she tells me that she initially caught an Uber from Philly. All right. A lady picked her up driving an Uber, and when her and her friend, when they both got into the Uber, she asked them where they're going, and she told them that, okay, I have to catch a plane in Newark Airport. So Philly to Newark, probably about 100 miles. Right? Yeah, give or take, maybe about 70, 80 miles. Okay. So she said okay, and she took them, and she's driving them, and then halfway there, the Joyce Kilmer rest area, she just decided that it was too far, and she pulls into the rest area. She pulled off to the side, so they're not thinking nothing of it. They're thinking that maybe she has to go to the bathroom or something like that. And all of a sudden, they saw her just end the trip. And she told me, like, oh, I need you to get out because I have to go and get my kids. Now, they said that they didn't see her get on the phone, take a phone call. They didn't see her look at a text or anything like that. So the whole situation was unusual, but they just asked her to get out, and they were sitting there like, holy cow, I have to catch a flight, we told you that we were going to the airport, and she's like, yeah, I know, but I can't, it's too far, and made him get out. So now they're sitting there stranded at the Joyce Kilmer rest stop. They haven't a clue where they're at, because they're only in Philly because they're in school. They're college students, and they're at a school in Philly, and they were leaving from there to catch a plane to go wherever out of Newark. So when she said that, I was literally like the fourth or fifth Uber that that finally agreed to come get them, because she explained over the phone, that she was trying to, she's at a rest stop on a turnpike, and all the Ubers, soon as she said rest stop, she didn't get a chance to tell them any more information. They just said no, they don't want it, and asked her to cancel. So at least she was cognizant of not to cancel it. She told the person to cancel it, if they can't come. So. And which I told her she did the right thing, so that way she's not getting hit with those fees. And she said, well, she did admit that the first one, the person asked her to cancel, and she did cancel. But then her friend that was with her knew what was going on and told her not to cancel if it happens again, don't cancel, because she's gonna get charged, for canceling after they accept it. So she, like I said, it happened 2 or 3 more times, and she had them cancel. And So when she, she's telling me all this, and she's like, "Oh my God, thank you so much." I was like, "Yeah, it's no problem. I'll take it to the airport. No big deal. I mean, it's only a half hour from, here. There's no traffic on the road. It's still early. It's like 6 a.m. And she's like, "Oh man, because I was worried I wasn't gonna make my flight. Blah blah blah." So I was like, "Yeah, just make sure you email Uber about that. First one that you canceled on, so that way they don't if they do charge you, that way you can get it back. So that way you explain the situation, because that's not your fault. And also make sure you notify them about the girl who dropped you off initially, because basically she got paid for that long trip, because from Philly to where you are, that was about an hour drive, give or take, and the fact that she ended the trip there, it makes it look like you wanted to get dropped off there, not that you canceled or that something happened. That's how it looks to them. So she got paid, and because it was surge pricing, she probably got paid. She only had to drive half the way, and probably got paid what the full fare would have been, even though she only drove half the way. So you got to call and you got to email Uber, dispute that, because she don't deserve to get paid for that. I'm sorry. You don't just drop a person off in the middle of the fair. The people were very nice people. There was no incidents, no problem. She just decided that she wasn't going to take them anymore because she didn't want to continue driving any further. And that's just wrong. I don't care. I know there's little due to try to, get a couple of dollars or whatever. But what that driver did was just plain wrong. Those are two nice girls that were just trying to get their flight, and they had to get put through this whole big ordeal, and basically stranded out in the area where they haven't a clue where they are, and it was dark outside. Like I said, they were left there at like 5 a.m. at a rest stop on the turnpike. Anything could have happened to these girls. Anything could have happened to these girls, and no one would have even freaking known, because they're out somewhere where they haven't a clue where they are. This person was driving, didn't tell them where they were at. All next thing you know, they look up, they're at a rest stop, and they're being told to get out the car. That would be scary for any lady, or guy, So, I made sure that she and I looked up and gave her the email just in case she didn't have it, or she didn't know how to find it in her app, so she can contact them, because she needs to report that person, because that was just wrong. You guys let me know how I handle that, if I handled it appropriately, down in the comments. Let me know if you would have done anything different, or what do you think I should have done different on for that particular situation. Write down in the comments down below, and if you would be so inclined, please like and subscribe, hit that bell icon, come along for the ride. I'm your boy Nez, the Lyft Uber YouTuber, and I'm out this piece.